So to start this posture, the first thing we're going to do is lie down on the floor. And if you remember, the posture is your two hands together making a pillow. Your two big toes are touching and the heels fall out to the sides, which open up the hips. And you can kind of wiggle your hips around, get some movement in there, and then just rest. Then when you're ready to do the posture, you're going to locate your fingertips and make sure they're right below your shoulders. Elbows press into the body and shoulder blades pull together. Your toes and your toenails are on the floor, on your mat. Your face is going to be forward. You're going to inhale, push the pelvis down. So there's a tight lock between your pelvic bones and the floor. You're going to inhale and just push your sternum facing toward the wall in front of you. Sternum facing the wall in front of you. And every time you inhale, that pelvis pushes down more. Every time you exhale, body softens. Inhale, push up, sternum toward the wall. Exhale and soften. So one of the common mistakes that you're going to see people doing with this posture is pushing up and having their thighs on the floor, but the pelvis is not on the floor. And I think it's something about looking cool or seeming like you're doing a bigger back bend, but this posture isn't for the back bend. It is to strengthen the lower back, and it's meant to push down on those reproductive organs. So I'm going to cover some of the common mistakes, and one of those is just what I mentioned, having your pelvis off the floor. Another one is with the toes, where you might have your toes bent, which will also get it decreases the amount of pressure on the pelvis. So you want to have those down, kind of leave them relaxed if you can. And then the other thing is having the elbows too far away from the body or the fingertips away. Okay, so you want to have these in line, fingertips in line with the shoulder. So either having them here or having the hands too far back. So make sure that they're directly in line with the shoulders. The other thing is, make sure your sternum is pointed forward. So when I do this posture, I'm going to inhale and I'm focusing on pulling my sternum or my chest bone that direction, straight toward the wall. My head and neck are in an easy alignment, so I'm not arching this way and I'm not going that way. It's just a straight ease in my neck. So every time you inhale, sternum points to the wall in front of you. And every time you exhale, your body softens. Inhale, and you're pushing sternum up. And you're also pushing your pelvic bones down into the floor. Okay, so that's the cobra. There are some variations of this cobra, and I know I haven't been showing variations for the other postures. But I do want to show a couple variations for this posture. So one of the variations is having your hands behind your back, and I do find this useful. So if your hands are behind your back, it's easier to roll your shoulders back, and it's easier to not get those misaligned. So these are pulled back, faces forward. When you inhale, you're pushing your pelvis down into the floor, and you're pulling your arms away from your body, which helps you to lift up more organically, so that you don't have a sense of wanting to push yourself up. This is a common mistake in this posture, is getting too archy. You don't need to arch back. It's about pushing down into the pelvis. So that's one variation of this posture. I think I'll leave it at that. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.